welcome to Fyter Fest Week 1. Well, that was the thing. Not a bad show. I don't agree with the ending, but it wasn't a bad show. Let's get opening. We got the TNT title match of Orange Cassidy and Wardlow. Guys, you guys tell me below, what do you like? Do you like seeing Orange Cassidy as a face with his two best friends that are heels? Or do you like seeing Orange Cassidy as a heel-ish? He's heelish. But his friends are heels. He's kind of heelish. What are we dealing with here? Because when you look at Chuck and Trent dressed in tie-dye, what? They are heels. They said they'll do anything to cheat. At one point, they brought a damn chainsaw to ringside to fuck over a Wardlow. What the fuck? But then you see the match itself. And you see that, well, it kind of showed, well, when you see the match, it was comedic at first. Once you see Wardlow tear out the pockets of a Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy pulls the straps up on a Wardlow. They joke with each other at first. It's fine. That's just how Orange Cassidy's stick is. He is a comedian that can wrestle. That's just how he is. Not everyone likes it, but I understand it. I appreciate that you got someone who's unique. It doesn't mean it has to be great unique, but it's unique. For me personally, I don't mind Orange, but others can't stand him. But it's all right. But when you see the match, it was not a bad match. Seeing heavy strength against agility and just some comedic attitude. In the end, I didn't expect Wardlow to job here. But seeing them do the fist pump afterward is kind of awkward due to the fact that Trent and Chuck are acting as heels. And he's doing that with Orange Cassidy, who should also be a heel at this point. But he's not acting totally like a heel. He's not an in-betweener. He's kind of heelish, but he's still Orange Cassidy. It's just who he is. He's acting like a heelish Orange Cassidy, but not a full heel. I kind of want to see him either full face or full heel. Not like dipping his toes in the water to see if people are going to be receptive when during the match and when we're cheering for him. I'm just saying. Now, we had Moxley versus Tateska. This was the best match of the night for me personally. It was a damn good match. I'll give it to you like this. Seeing a 16-year-old Tateska back in DDT, I believe that's what's the name of the promotion in Japan, I would have probably wondered if he's going to get anywhere. If he's got potential. Here, he's a great wrestler. But here's the problem again, as I've stated multiple times, he could be a great wrestler, but without a character. Every sojo and I believe they call the women sojos, but every female wrestler and every male wrestler is boring. And it's not because they can't do it. They got storylines in Japan. They got character development in Japan. It's just whoever's running just doesn't seem to understand that, yes, we are dealing with Japanese wrestlers that probably they don't speak very good English or no English at all, but you can compensate with that. You must give them something to work with. You don't have to be like the WWE and make them look like morons. You can give them Japanese culture. You can have someone care more about sumo than anything else. Someone caring about Bushido. Someone caring about bonsai trees. You must give them something to work with that's part of Japanese culture and a little bit of American, and you smush them together and make them work. I don't understand why they can't get it. Leaving them blank like this is ridiculously stupid. And here's the thing for me. When you see these Japanese wrestlers who are great wrestlers, unless they're legends and already been known through Japanese wrestling and Americans who have been watching them for over a decade, someone like me will not get them. Hiro Kushida, I didn't feel anything from her. Yeah, she's a gamer. I didn't know she was a gamer until she dressed like Tifa Blackheart. I didn't know. How would I know if they don't even show her playing a freaking video game on damn Dynamite? Or a snippet on Elevation or on Dark. a little snippet of 5 to 10 or 15 seconds. You throw it on one of the shows so people can know these people, and they still not doing it. Anyone who says that this is great for the Japanese wrestlers, bullshit. It is totally a detriment to them. They came to America in the hopes of making something out of themselves and wanting to be something more than what they were in Japan. And no, it doesn't matter if it's All Japan, New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, DDT, I believe it's Shimmer or Shine. I can't remember which promotion they're using for the women. But the point is, all these wrestlers, they probably can act like any ordinary American or European wrestler when it comes to doing a character. But if you don't even know how to if you don't know how to even book them for their characters or even have one, they're just bodies. And I don't want to see bodies. I want to see real pro wrestlers with character. And it's not the point they can't speak English, they can still get over. It's not just their ring work I care about. I want to just smack someone in AEW and say, dude, can't you see you need add a little bit of Japanese bit of character with a little bit of American, something they may like, stick them together and give them something to try? Because they're blank. How do you think you're going to get people to like them if they've never seen Japanese wrestling? Unless it's the hardcore fan. I'm not a hardcore fan. But even I can see they deserve better than this. I just went on a rant. There you go. Now, we get a little bit of talk between Luchasaurus. No, actually, I take that back. We got a little talk of Christian with Luchasaurus by his side with a Griff Garrison and a Brian Pillman. And this is where if you don't like Christian when he's a face, you got to like him when he's a heel. He made it very clear. He said, Griff Garrison reminds me of Jungle Boy. But before I get to him, I'm going to go to Brian Pillman. You know your dad is nothing like Jungle Boy. At least your father was a pro wrestler. And you got to say this. Whatever hype it is, I don't believe he's a legend. I think he's adequate. But I at least respect him for getting in the ring and bleeding. I don't, Jungle Boy. And Griff Garrison reminds me of Jungle Boy. Go get him, and he destroys him. Luchasaurus destroys Griff Garrison, and he destroys a Brian Pillman Jr. He destroys them both. Good. Now, the question's going to be how far, and this is my fear, how far are they going to push Luchasaurus? Are they going to put them... Well, guys, are we getting a Miro push? Are we getting a Lance Archer push? You guys tell me below which one you think we're going to get for Luchasaurus, because I don't know. Are we going to get a Miro push or a Lance Archer? Because Lance is not doing anything. He's just there. I'm sorry. He deserves better than what he gets. Moving on. What did we get from Pac? Now, they did not show the match of Pac on AEW Dark, supposedly defending his all Atlantic. I think he was in Japan when he did it, because we did have Thunderosa go to Japan. So I think Pac went there as well, and he defended at AEW Dark. Maybe I will check out AEW Dark, and I usually don't, because I love Pac. That's my boy. The Bastard's my boy. If I only had... I know before you guys remember that I had made pictures that I was going to print out, but unfortunately I could not do it. Not because I didn't have the money, it's just my mindset was off. So that's the reason why you don't see anything new behind me yet. When my mindset's right, I will get those things printed and I will have something new. But hopefully it will be eventually before 2050. But anyway, Pac's my boy. I'm glad he defended his title. Also, Thunderosa defended her title. Well, not defended her title. She had a match in Japan. She lost it. Now the person she lost to when she went to Japan, to the old promotion that she used to go to, is now coming to AEW, I believe, next week. So it will be interesting to see the person that she went up against. But then again, yes, she'll be debuting on AEW. Maybe she may like being in the AEW, and maybe she'll stick around for a little while. But in the end, a Japanese wrestler that does not get the chance to show character sucks. They deserve better. Let's move on. Claudio versus Jake Hager. Now, I could have said this was a better match, but I'm not going to. Let's put this in perspective. Do Jake and Claudio know each other? Yes. We the people. I used to do that when I used to do SmackDown. When they were on it, Dutch Mantel in his wheelchair, his motorized wheelchair, with Hager, with Claudio. I love We the People, and I hated that pretty much Jake Hager messed himself up by getting messed up with weed, and then they didn't want to push him. But here, seeing this, the only problem I have is it was rushed. There's nothing here, and that was the problem for me personally. Look, it's not about Jake can talk or not. It's not about if Claudio can talk or not. You just had blood and guts. And instead of rejoicing and letting Claudio have his moment, and then having Jake get pissed off in him because he won, and then you spend the next couple of weeks building up that these guys are showing animosity to each other, or better yet, that yes, they're on opposite sides, and you can have Jake say, you know what, I can't stand you, but I still remember how much we were friends, and I'm warning you. You better get out of the Blackpool Combat Club, because I will be coming for you. And he says, you know, you're my friend, and I did love you. But now, you're dead meat. I'm going to destroy you. And they could have built up into that for weeks upon weeks. No. You could have done this at Death Before Dishonor. You could have built up into it. No. You just have an off match, which means nothing for the Jericho Appreciation Society. Now, since I'm talking about it, let's talk about Chris. Chris Jericho, the demigod, now the Painmaker. He's going back to Painmaker. He's made it very clear, you know, Eddie, you're not a liar. I called you a liar. You're not a liar. But neither am I. I had the very first barbed wire match in Canada. And even though I bled and I couldn't stand it, I kind of enjoyed the sick pain of it. I am the one that's going to show you true pain. And you saying that and this is where it gets maybe possibly personal, because I did check to see if Ruby Soho and Eddie Kingston have a relationship. I checked the wiki on Ruby Soho. I haven't checked Eddie yet. I don't know if Eddie is in a relationship with Ruby. He might be. I don't know. But if they are in a relationship, you got Chris actually ousting them, saying, you're going to make me believe all the injuries I've done to everyone, particularly your Ruby. Oh, your woman? I guess you don't know how to take care of your girl. You don't know how to take care of your women because she got her hand smashed up and she deserves it. So, I don't know if it's real or not. If it is real, and they did add a little bit of realism in it, okay, fine. The question is going to be, how far are they going to go with this any barbed wire anywhere match? That I've never heard that before. Now, if it exists beforehand, this will be the first time I've heard of anywhere barbed wire match, or barbed wire anywhere match. I think that's what it's called. It's the first time I've ever heard of it. If it's been around, this will be the first time I'll see it. And Eddie did have his moment with a Ortiz there, with a Ruby Soho there in a sling. Now, if she did get hurt, oof, that has to be bad. But still. Now, Selena Deeps versus Anna Jay. Now, let me put it to you like this. Was Selena good? Hell yeah. Selena is a damn good wrestler. I think this will be one of the few images, if I'm putting any images at all. Here she is putting Anna Jay in a hole where she got her butt on the back of her head. Literally. She's a damn good wrestler. Has Anna Jay improved in wrestling? Yes, she had. Was the match good? In the very beginning, yes. The middle, yes. Then the end, it began to get sloppy. It got sloppy. At one point, Anna Jay landed straight butt first on Selena Deep's head and nose and face. I'm hoping she didn't break a nose. But pretty much, it got sloppy near the end. And Selena won. I wasn't surprised. You did see a little bit of Mercedes Martinez saving her, and that is Anna Jay. And they will be doing that match at Death Before Dishonor. But here's the thing. Anna Jay talking with Ty Conchi after the match was over. You wonder how far they're going to go with their feud. If they're going to have a feud. And will it mean anything for Anna Jay, for Ty Conchi, and Dark Order? Because we did see Hangman Page with members of Dark Order. But what do we really get from Dark Order staying together? Look, I understand if they want to keep Dark Order together because of -1. But honestly, Dark Order's run its course. It needs to be disbanded for a while. Leave Dark Order broken up. Let everyone go off on their own and then bring Dark Order back when it's necessary. It can be done. They can bring Dark Order back. I just don't believe Dark Order should stay together right now. They're done. I don't think Dark Order should even be mentioned. Anna Jay had Dark Order next to her name. It should be stricken. It's done. It's run its course. It's time to let it go. That's just me. Now, what am I forgetting here? Anything else? I'll say this about the baddies. I'm still worried. I'm still worried for this new girl. I can't remember her name. I'm still worried for Red Velvet when she comes back. Will she still get anything out of this? Which I don't think she has. And Kiera Hogan literally doesn't feel like anything because they've done nothing with her on main Dynamite or Rampage TV. I'm worried that this was all about Jade Cargill and nothing for any of the women in the baddie. Halfway is fine. That guy can talk his tongue off. He's a silver-tongued devil, and it makes sense why he's the mouthpiece. But honestly, when it comes to the other women other than Jade, I just feel nothing for them. And that hurts. I want to see something. You make a faction, everyone should get something out of it. Not one. Even though Jade's a great wrestler, at this point, she's gotten a lot better in the last year and several months compared to when she first started. She's great compared to what she was. Is she a great wrestler overall of any other wrestler? No. She's still too young in the business. She's adequate to almost good. She has a moments where she looks really good, but still, she's young in the business and she needs more time to mature. That's why she's going to stay with that TNT title for a little while longer. They are not making her drop. She's not dropping that title. Not too soon. Now, finally, the Triple or Nothing match. Bucks versus Swerve and Keith Lee versus... Let me give it to you right. Who should have won? Team Taz. Should have been Tony Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. When you watch that match, the ones that look the best, Powerhouse Hobbs, Starks, and Nick Buck. Yes, I know I said Nick Buck. I did say Nick Buck. You know why? When you look at Swerve Strickland, here's Swerve. Here's Nick Buck. When I'm telling you, when you see, well, not Nick Buck, but you know what I mean. Nick Jackson, not Nick Buck. I'm combining Nick and Buck together. Nick Jackson. When you saw them go up against each other at first, Matt did his little bit, but when you see Nick compared to Swerve, you can tell who is better. Here's Swerve. Here's Nick. I'm not a big high-flying liker. Guys, I like an all-around wrestling match with some good aerial. But if you got to look at who's the better high flyer, Swerve. Nick. Flat out. And when you saw how sloppy Swerve Strickland was, you will see my point of view that Swerve is good to get his crap in if it's someone that is not as good as him when it comes to aerial, when it comes to high flying. But once they appear like a Nick Jackson, I said Buck. I'm so dumb. Nick Jackson, he is outclassed. Flat out. You know why? Because even though Nick does a lot of spots like a spot monkey, at least majority of the time, he knows how to sell for the other person. And Swerve can't. He's got great charisma. He can talk his ass off on the mic. He's got a great look. And he goes well in the ring when he has to get his shit looking good for himself. But when it comes to covering the other guy, he's sloppy. Or he just can't do it. So when you saw most of this match, yeah, he did a lot of high spots. Does not mean there were great high spots when it came to him selling for somebody. So when I see this match, it was a good match. But the ones that should have won should have been Team Taz, should have been Starks, should have been Hobbs. They have been around long enough that everyone really wanted them to win. So seeing that the ref gets nailed, seeing that, what was that? With Swerve, after the title had been thrown around a couple of times, with Matt using it, with Starks trying to do it, then Swerve gets his hands on it, and he's looking at Keith Lee while he's down. And Keith can't see him supposedly. And he's holding it, he's going like, no. And then they let them win. So, you're going to set up, supposedly, you let this happen, that you have Strickland and Lee win, but then have that little moment where you think, oh, Swerve's about to fuck over a little Keith Lee, but now they won. That means they're going to do a story of Keith Lee eventually getting fucked over by Swerve Strickland. I can understand the story is going to be there, but honestly, I would rather have seen Hobbs and Starks win. As much as I want to see a possible good feud between Swerve and Lee, and then maybe Swerve worked with somebody else, I really wanted to see Hobbs and Starks win. But that's just me, and I hope you enjoyed the same view. Please give me a comment below. I've exercised my demon. I hope you enjoyed the Gump Report. That one was like, ugh. But anyway, peace.